Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are. My name is Kseniya and I make videos for people who, like myself, are going through the family-based immigration process. I'm not an immigration attorney. My videos are based on publicly available information, my own experience, and the experience of my subscribers. The purpose of my channel is to give you guys the confidence to go through this process completely on your own. In today's video, we're going to talk about some things you should be doing now that you have become a permanent resident. First and foremost, let's talk about the conditional permanent residence. If you have obtained your green card through marriage and at the time of your green card interview, at the time you receive your green card, you and your spouse have not been married for more than 2 years, you most likely have received a conditional permanent residency card, meaning that your green card is only valid for 2 years from the date it was issued to you. In 2 years' time, you will become eligible to apply for your actual 10-year green card. As a conditional permanent resident, you have basically all the same opportunities and responsibilities as a regular 10-year permanent resident. The only exception is that in 2 years, you're going to have to apply for something known as removal of condition, also known as the I-751 application. So during this time of you applying for removal of conditions, you will have to provide proof that you have continued to maintain your bona fide marriage with your US citizen spouse. And so during that time, you will need to submit a lot of evidence, again, of your bona fide marriage continuing. Any kind of big event now in your life with you and your US citizen spouse, you definitely should be keeping track of all of these important things that are happening, and you will be using them as evidence later on when you apply for I-751. Don't wait until the last minute to collect all of that evidence. So the point of this video is not to go over the I-751 application. I will do it. I will make a detailed video about this form and also a detailed video about how to fill it out in later videos. However, in this video, my point was to remind you guys to collect any evidence that comes along, so when the time does come for you to apply for removal of conditions, you're ready to present that evidence, that you're not wasting any time. So next, you may want to apply for or renew your social security card, as well as a driver's license or a state ID. At the time that you were applying for your permanent residency or your employment authorization document, you had the opportunity to apply for either a new or a replacement social security card. Ideally, technically, what's supposed to happen is USCIS is supposed to collect important evidence and submit it on your behalf to the Social Security Administration so that the Social Security Administration can go ahead and process your Social Security card. Unfortunately, what we're starting to see lately is USCIS is making an increased effort in processing employment authorization documents. However, the Social Security Administration is in no rush to process your Social Security card. And if you have been waiting for 2 weeks or even a month for your Social Security card to arrive in the mail and still nothing, you definitely should go and apply for a Social Security card yourself. You can either do it online by signing up for the ssa.gov account, and then you will be able to apply for a card that way. However, as a non-citizen, you will most likely have to go to the Social Security Administration in person. Even after submitting the application online, you will probably have to schedule an appointment with them and show up and have your card, have your Social Security number processed that way. I do have a video on my channel talking about the process of applying for a Social Security card. And like I mentioned, you may also choose to apply for a driver's license or a state ID, even if at this time you're not able to purchase a vehicle, you definitely can still apply for a driver's license. It's definitely a good idea to have it just in case. I do also have a video talking about the process for applying for a driver's license. The next thing you should be doing as a permanent resident is making a record of all your departures from and arrivals to the United States. So now that you are a permanent resident, you're actually no longer going to have access to I-94. If you remember, when you were applying for a green card, you had to present USCIS with a document known as Arrival Departure Record, I-94. However, as a permanent resident, you will no longer be able to get an I-94. In this case, you are going to have to start making a record of all your travels from the United States. The dates when you have departed, the dates when you have arrived back in the United States, and the destinations. The purpose of this is for you to later be able to apply for naturalization without any issues. As a permanent resident, you have specific physical presence and residency requirements in order to be eligible for naturalization. As a permanent resident, you must prove to the United States government that the United States is now your home and that you do not have a primary residence anywhere else in the world. You will be required to live continuously in the United States between 3 and 5 years to be eligible for naturalization. The reason why I said between 3 and 5 years is because it depends what kind of visa you have and also whether or not you are married to a US citizen. Basically, what you need to remember is your absence from the United States for more than 6 months is actually an interruption of your continuous presence, and it will delay your ability to apply for naturalization. The purpose of you making a record of all your exits and entries into the United States will be very helpful to you when you finally apply for naturalization. So using the N400 application, you will be asked to provide all of that information. It would be a really good idea for you to either make a record of it in an Excel spreadsheet somewhere on your computer, or maybe even on your phone in your Notes app. Next, if you are a permanent resident male between the ages of 18 and 25, you are now required to enroll in selective service. So the selective service does not mean that you are signing up to be in the US Army. The selective service will be utilized only in the severe times of war and other political conflicts, when there is a necessity for a draft from the regular population. So if you are a male between the ages of 18 and 25, you have to sign up for selective service. You can do it online. You will need your social security number for that. If you don't have a social security number, that's okay. You can submit an application for selective service by mail. The next thing you should be doing as a permanent resident is notifying USCIS every time you move. So every time you change your physical address and your mailing address, you should notify USCIS. You can do that by either submitting an AR-11 application online or doing it by mail. You must notify them of your new address within 10 days of moving. In addition, I do suggest that you change your address on your USCIS online account if you have one. Next, you may want to begin studying for your naturalization interview, specifically for your English and your civics test. If you feel like your English is not that great, you can definitely start looking for either classes online with online tutors. You can also use the USCIS site to find, based on your location, English language and citizenship preparation classes near you. When you go for your naturalization interview and your civics and your English test, you will definitely not be asked to write an entire essay. However, you want to make sure that you know enough English to be able to have a conversation with the person interviewing you, to be able to understand the civics questions that they ask you, and to be able to write a simple sentence. In addition, when it comes to the civics test, you can begin studying at any time. Definitely don't delay the process. You can begin by studying certain facts about the United States, some important historical events, political figures, and other influential people in the US history. So I hope I covered some of the basic ideas that you should be following as now a permanent resident. However, if I didn't cover everything, feel free to comment under this video. If you are interested, I will also link a guide from USCIS about settling in the United States. All of the resources that I have mentioned in this video will be linked in the description box. Give this video a thumbs up so more people get to see it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!